Hey everybody, my name is Kristina Delgado and I am a Superstar Diamond 3-time Elite Team Beachbody coach. I was a lawyer in my past life, so I kind of get the same questions asked of me quite a bit. So I have a list of 10 rapid fire questions that I am going to answer to hopefully help you build a successful Beachbody coach business. The first question is, if you were to go back as a new coach, what is the one piece of advice you would have given yourself? I covered this on a national wake-up call recently, so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you pull that up. But one of the important parts of that call that I talked about was establishing customer relationships. I realize now, 5 years later, that customer relationships are the key to growing a successful Beachbody business. Because once you have someone that loves Beachbody and what we do as coaches, they in turn have a better shot at becoming successful Beachbody coaches themselves. Their story is the most important tool they will have as a coach. So make sure you're digging in and really getting into a relationship with that person to develop them into a successful Beachbody coach later. Second question is, what are your top 3 personal development books? Well, I always recommend The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson as the starter book to someone that just joined as a Team Beachbody coach. But the one piece of personal development that I go back to so much is actually audio, and you could find it on YouTube, and it's Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business. And it's only an hour long, but I will tell you that whenever I'm down in the dumps or feel overwhelmed or stressed out, all I have to do is listen to Jim Rohn and it gets me back on my feet and moving forward. The third book is Begins with Why or Starts with Why by Simon Sinek. He was the guy that spoke at Summit and I really love him. He's like no nonsense. And that book shows how the why is the most important thing that we have in sharing this business opportunity, and how very successful companies have either made it or not based on the why. And I love the analogies that he gives with Apple and Southwest Airlines. It just makes it real life and shows how important that concept is. Number 3, what are the things you do every day no matter what? Number 1, I'm present on social media no matter what. Whether it's Sunday, Saturday, Monday, it doesn't matter if it's rain or shine, I am on social media. And I don't even need to be posting about Beachbody or anything about Beachbody, but that I'm staying relevant and that I'm staying in people's minds, whether it's talking about my family or our trips or having a bad day, whatever it is, I'm on social media all the time. The second thing I do is I split my day up into 2 parts. The first part is with my customers. So I'm posting in my challenge groups and developing relationships behind the scenes. That's forming, that's using techniques like that to really get to know who I'm talking to and also inviting to my challenge groups. The other part of my day I spend with my team. So I'm being creative in terms of, how we're doing our coach trainings. I'm reaching out to the coaches on my team to see how I can help them and serve them, and also engaging on one-on-one calls when they schedule them with me. So those are my no matter whats. Number 4, what is your 4th vital behavior? I'm actually going to give you 2. 4 for me is attending live events. My sister and I, Becky Brose, have created a huge event-based culture here in South Florida. And I say that the growth of our events have been parallel to the growth of our businesses. So I highly encourage not only getting to Super Saturdays and attending events like Summit and Leadership, the New Leader Conference coming up, but that you are also stepping into a leadership role. And if in your community there isn't a big event or an established event, you go ahead and do that, because that's going to grow your business and your perception of leadership. So number 4 vital behavior for me is attending live events. I've never missed a Super Saturday. I've never missed a Summit. I've never missed any event that I've been invited to, because this is a business. And when you have a business, you invest time into that business. And these events will pay you back. Trust me, especially if you invite people with you to go. The fifth vital behavior to me is talking about the business opportunity, sharing about the business opportunity, sharing coach opportunity calls, doing coach opportunity calls, doing coach sneak peeks, or whatever, platform that your team does to share the business opportunity. It is critically important that if you want to build a team of more than discount coaches, that you're sharing that this is truly a business as well. Think about what this business has done for you. And it doesn't even have to be based on money. Has it given you hope? Has it given you the body you've always dreamed of? Has it given you friends and experiences and travel? And anything of that nature should be shared, because that is what's going to relate to people. And not, oh, I just bought a boat or something like that. People can't grasp those kinds of things. So talk in very simple terms about what this business has done for you. For instance, when I started my business, I talked a lot about being part of a team. And guess what? I attracted a lot of my cheerleader friends. I attracted a lot of my dance friends because they too missed that part of their life. So talk about what this business has done for you. How are you proud to be a Beachbody coach? Why are you proud to be a Beachbody coach? And talk about that on social media. Number 5, what is the biggest failure and biggest success of your business? The biggest failure, I would say, at the very beginning, I was very self-centered about the business. I only thought about me. How many sales I made, how many successful points I had, my rank, my this, my elite points, me. And I realized that that's not the way to do business. This business truly is a team effort, and it has to be us. What have we done? So my biggest success, in turn, was focusing on my team and how I can help them and being a servant leader to them. When I realized there's a quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it's when you help enough people get what they want, you in turn will get what you want. And that has proven to be so true. So when you sign up a coach, don't just sign and dump them. You have now, been given the responsibility of helping them and training them. And guess what? That person can potentially be that one coach that changes everything in your business. So treat everyone with respect when you sign them up as a coach. Love them where they are. If they're just focused on their fitness and their health and those kinds of goals, you support them there. If they're interested in doing this as a business, well then teach them what you've done to be successful. Plug them into the right resources. Recruit responsibly. That's a huge thing for me in my business, that if you have taken those steps to invite someone to this business opportunity, that you are showing them how to be successful. Number 6, with a full-time professional career, here we go, I get this one a lot, mom and wife duties and coaching business, what did you focus on first to build your income with limited time? Success Club. As simple as that sounds, I focused on Success Club. And back, so you guys don't know, I'm like a dinosaur coach. I've been around for 5 years. And back when I started coaching, there were no challenge packs. So in order to hit Success Club, you needed to share 5 bags of Shakeology a month on Home Direct. And one of those customers had to become a coach. So you needed to sponsor one coach each month in addition to those 5 points to hit Success Club. So that already ingrained in me the importance of recruiting by accident. I didn't really even understand the power of the team cycle bonus and recruiting and building an organization at the beginning, but I knew I had to sponsor a coach each month. So Success Club plus one coach, and on my pace. I did it at my pace. I was not, Speedy Gonzalez in building this business. It's been 5 years. I'm now just this year becoming a superstar diamond. This week, joining the Millionaire Club. It's not like I did it at record time, but I did it. And I did it at my own pace. And I did it with focusing on very simple things. I always say, keep it simple, stupid. Success Club plus recruiting. And at the beginning, I would recruit only one coach a month. Then I turned on the gas and started, as my goals grew, I started recruiting more into the business. So that's what I did when I first started with all the things I had going on. Number 7, When did you work your business with your full-time career? Was it the same every day? I made sacrifices. You're going to hear this theme as the questions continue. I made sacrifices when I decided that I was going to build this team. I was going to build this business. I would wake up very early in the morning, 4:30 on most days, to get my workout in, make sure I stayed on top of the 3 vital behaviors. I would work my business even before jumping in the shower, even before my kids would get up. I've already probably put in a good hour into my workout and my business before I even stepped out the door. I would use time in the car to do calls or listen to personal development. I would use time during the day when I would, step outside for fresh air and post on social media. And I understand it's different for everybody. I don't think there is a cookie cutter answer to this question. You just have to find time and sacrifice. That's as simple as that. I can't give you a schedule because it's not going to be the same for you. But if that means sacrificing that show at night or maybe going to sleep a little bit later, then so be it. If I can tell you that in 4 years, I was able to walk away from a high 6-figure job as a lawyer because of this business, a business that all we do is help people get healthy and fit and be financially free. I mean, that sounds like fun to me, right? Like I would do it all over again. I was able to replace my income in 3, retire in 4 for various reasons. That's another call. But if I could, say sacrifice and you get that, I would think that you would say, absolutely, I will sacrifice something. So just make time for your business. And if you need to read Eat That Frog. Number 8, what are your best tips for sharing the business opportunity with other professionals who don't need a second stream of income? This is a good one. I actually have never answered this question before. And I think it's the way that I position the opportunity of, especially in my profession. I was a lawyer. It's the stress-free, that's how that life of not having to bill, not having to answer to other people. I think that's the way I attract a lot of professionals into my business, because I share what everybody is always thinking. That it sucks to be, stuck in an office or the courtroom. It stinks to miss kids' activities, because I was there. All the things that I hated about my job, and I'll tell you that I liked my job. It was challenging, it was rewarding. I had a great firm that I worked at, but there was things that I didn't like. I didn't like that I had to miss school events. I didn't like that I had to, stress about taking my daughter or son to the doctor. And then when DJ was diagnosed autistic, it was a lot of doctor's appointments. It was a lot of missed time. And I was always stressed out about having to tell my bosses, sorry guys, got to miss another day. So I talk about those things and what this business has been able to change in that life, change from that lawyer lifestyle. So I think the same thing applies to any other business. Figure out what it is that you don't like about your life now, and you share the hope or that you've accomplished that goal because of the Beachbody business opportunity. And again, it's kind of weird to be able to say, oh, who doesn't need a second income? Because no job is secure. And there was a great article that Forbes wrote on network marketing. You should look it up. That talks about retirement accounts and job security as we get older. And we're all getting older. And a lot of times people take for granted the jobs that they have, thinking they're going to last forever. Well, I'll tell you what, in 2008 that proved otherwise. And it will happen again, unfortunately. So having job security or income security is something that's very attractive to even very successful people. And I will tell you that I became a coach in 2010 in the height of the recession, and I was able to grow a hefty additional income on this opportunity. Why? Because health and fitness is recession proof in my opinion. People are always going to need us. They're always going to need our fitness programs. They're always going to need Shakeology. So it's providing that kind of security that you want to come across. Number 9, Because you loved your previous career, that's right, when your goal wasn't to leave your job, what was your key motivator? I'm motivated by recognition, so I love that about Beachbody, that whenever I needed a "you're awesome," I would get it from my sister, who's my coach, or my team, or other leaders in the network. I also let my why evolve. So, like the question, I didn't really want to leave my job at the beginning, so I had my whys were based on me continuing to work. So like the first one was to pay off all of our debt. So that kept me motivated to do that, because before Beachbody, what a lot of people don't know is that despite having a lawyer's income and my husband having a great job, we were struggling financially. It was that time period, right when the market crashed, that mortgages were extremely high and we were just not cutting it, and it was extremely stressful. We had 3 or 4 credit cards maxed out. I was only paying minimum payments a month. That was extremely hard on me, both emotionally and stress related. It was crazy. So that became my initial goal, and I could wrap my head around that because it was a number, and I could figure out what I needed to do in order to get there and the work I needed to put into my business to get there. So I let my why evolve, and then it became bigger and bigger and bigger until I got to the point where I said, you know what? And this is crazy. This really is what I'm about to say is crazy. It didn't make financial sense to continue practicing law. I know it's crazy, but it did happen, and it can happen to you. And the last question is, what is your best advice to those with maxed out schedules looking to build a successful Beachbody business? Here's where I bring in sacrifice again. Listen, we're all busy. It doesn't matter if I'm a full-time Beachbody coach and I'm home right now filming this video. I'm busy. I'm working. If you're working a full-time job, have a family, it takes sacrifice to build this business. But like I said, isn't it worth it that in 3 years or 2 years, depending on your speed and your skill and your ability to learn and your ability and willingness to implement these strategies into your business, that you could not have that 9 to 5, that you could be picking up your kids at school, that you could be traveling more? Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth the effort? It's not lip service. Many people have done it. You've seen all of us do it. Now the question is, are you willing to put in the time and the work and the sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice that show that really, does it pay you money to watch that show at night? No. Does it pay you money to work on your Beachbody business? Yeah, it does. You also have to have vision that this is possible. You have to believe. The other day I got an email from I do the Darren Hardy, which, by the way, I love The Compound Effect. I love that book too. But it said, what is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people? And it's belief in yourself. Like, do you really believe that you can do this? If you don't, then you really need to dig into personal development. If you do, then now it's a time just to take action about it and get it done. Have a get it done attitude. Success Club is non-negotiable. Recruiting is non-negotiable. If you struggle in a certain area in your business, it's important to recognize that and then take corrective action. If social media is a struggle, then jump into a social media training or follow people that are really good at social media and duplicate. Don't copy, duplicate what they do. It's very easy to get stuck, to just kind of get stuck and keep doing the same thing over and over again and just say, well, I'm just not good at this. No, that's not the attitude to have. The attitude to have is, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to learn, and if that person can do it, if Kristina Delgado can do it, and all these people can do it, then I can do it too. So, okay, those are my 10 rapid fire questions. I hope you guys found this beneficial. Wow, kept it to under 18 minutes, or actually 20 minutes. You guys, good luck, kick butt, take names, make your dreams come true. I love you guys.